Testing. There we go. Okay. Hey, can y'all hear me now? I think that is it. Sorry about that. Thanks for the heads up there. Okay, so let's try this again. First, can y'all hear me? Thanks for mentioning it. Fox and Mechanical and all. It looks like I'm broadcasting audio now, so I don't see anything in chat yet, but I think I'm good. Okay, sweet. Yes, so let's try this again. Hey everybody, and welcome. Really, I'm actually kind of excited to do this one. It's a special birthday celebration. I have a little bottle of alcohol, just a tiny little bit because I haven't had dinner yet, but I was gonna pour a little glass and do some Binja stuff, kind of hang out with everybody. I was apologizing for my scruffiness because it's been a crazy week. I've made it back from Offensive Con and brought home, I think, a little COVID. I test negative every single day, but my wife tested positive, so it's a little crazy. Thanks, Zero. I'm old now. I'm 42 years old, so it's Vector 42. So for those of you who don't know, 7 years ago we founded Vector 35 because all the co-founders were turning 35 that year. So that was kind of how we got the name. But you all don't need to see my scruffy face. Let's get on over to the Binja. So yeah, another year, getting older, but streaming makes me feel a little younger, so I like doing that. And I'll go home and hang out with the family, those that aren't sick, after this. But let's play with some plugins. I'm actually Shushung mentioned in our company chat. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate the cake. Shushung mentioned like, hey, you should do like he's like, I didn't even know that plugin existed. You should do a review of some plugins. And I thought that was a great idea because there are like 90 plugins, I think, in the plugin manager now. And I thought it might be fun just to go check some of them out. I can show off some of my favorites. And so I think I don't have, let's see, do I have any plugins? I don't, yeah, I just had the SemGrep one I was working on a couple weeks ago. And, oh, thanks updates. Yeah, at some point I'll switch over to repositories. Do I have any? Yeah, so I have snippets and BNIL graph and Hex Integers. Actually, that's not a bad chance to talk. So we'll bring up the plugin manager. I think I can just do @installed, right? So this is one nice little thing in the plugin manager that you might not be aware of, but you can just see what you've already got installed. And so, for example, I know there was an update to Hex Integers because Glenn and I worked on that earlier. It was just yesterday, I guess. So Hex Integers is one of the more unassuming plugins. And when you enable it, what it's going to do is it's going to give you, what am I, Python 2? It's going to give you, instead of just this style of kind of printing, I think I have to restart Binja to get the display hook in. Now when I do it, oh, wait, did he make it a setting? I bet he did. Hold on. I actually haven't tried this version. So, Hex, where is it? Let me see. Let's just do a test real quick. So let's just open up random binary. And now let's see here. So the Hex Integers plugin, the goal of it is, I mean, it tells you, it's a little bit like Monkey Hex, if you've ever seen that. A plugin just that would show something that looks like a pointer as a hex value instead of decimal, which happens a lot just in the REPL. And so it does something interesting, both Hex Integers and Monkey Hex. You can modify just the display hook, so you're not changing how anything internally in Python happens, but just when you like run like a bear. Oh, that's why I was using print. So like, here's the difference, right? I answered my own question. Oh, sorry for the hair. It's crazy. But the idea is if you just run something and you want to see what the output is, this will actually display it to you in both hex and decimal. And there's some logic in it. So yeah, if I tell it to print something, it will print is actually just outputting it to the screen. But a lot of times you would do like current function .start or something like that, where you're going to get a pointer back. And the nice thing is by giving it both in decimal and hex, we can click on it and it can navigate right to things. Oh, it looks like I have single function view still turned on. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm curious. I know a lot of people were super excited about single function view coming in 3.0, and I kind of like infinite scroll. My assumption is, I don't know if this is true or not, but my assumption is people that really want single function view were those that worked with a lot of large binaries. So a lot of like the Binja testing I'm doing, and we definitely do testing on bigger binaries, but a lot of them are little small, like, you know, smaller test binaries, where the largest functions are still not that large. Is like the biggest one here. And so I think the bigger binary you're working on, depth to infinity scroll, exactly, yes. So I know some people feel very strongly about this and do not like the infinity scroll. I love it, but you know, that's why the setting's there. Y'all can turn that on. I'm actually, hold on, I have to approve that comment because it's, I think Death2 made YouTube filter the words. Thank you for the birthday wishes as well. I appreciate it, Sergey. So yeah, so I like Infinity Scroll, but it's there for those of you that don't like it. But yeah, you can just hit the address. Wait, is that already the address? Oh no, this is a different binary, so different addresses. But or even just like here, right? So I can get that address, navigate away, do something else, and then I can just quickly go back to that old address by doing stuff like that. So that's kind of nifty that this Hex Integer plugin does this. Yeah. So that's why I think that sort of like is your bias for like oh, you're fine, don't worry about like the approval. I think that's kind of funny actually. I do think that shows whether people are working with like either obfuscated or large or just big binaries with large functions, they're going to be more likely to want single function view. So this is why I appreciate it when people ask for stuff like that, because then we know to go and implement it. All right. So back to the Hex Integer plugin. So like I said, it's just nice just because when you're kind of interactively in the prompt here, you can get that stuff. But he also added, and I've shown this before, but a lot of things got turned into generators in the 3.0 API refactor, and that is demonstrably better performance-wise. Like it just makes your scripting so much faster, and we really want to have a good scripting interface. So for example, like in this case though, if I didn't have the plugin installed, it would just be like, yep, that's a generator, and that's all it would show you. And what the nice thing about this is, it doesn't really have any performance implications because it's only going to do this on the display hook in the REPL, in the scripting interface, when you just like run that as a bare command and you don't actually do anything with it. But like if I tried to, before it would have done basically something like this, right? Like it's just, or not repr, stir. Oh, I think we've actually fixed this one. So this one actually, a couple of the classes we went and added, there we go. We modified the repr and the stirs just to improve them in like the API itself, which is one way to fix it. But if you have Hex Integers installed, it does it everywhere, and it will just give you, for like instructions even. So if I don't put that through stir, you can see I'll actually get like, oh, well, this is a generator, but here's kind of the output of it, which is probably what you wanted to see if you were just typing it there. So, yeah, so I like the fact that that does that. It also, there was a couple of bugs with it, and like one of them was the underscore. Ooh, that's interesting. If it's underscore, the generator is empty now because this current function changed or instructions changed. I wonder, but like before, underscore was just always broken by that because it turns out actually the display hook in Python is what sets the underscore built in. There was a pretty easy fix for that though, so the plugin. I pushed a little change to that last night, so that got fixed. There also used to be, if you just did something like this earlier, it would say none. That's fixed. Anyway, so I think this Hex Integer plugin is actually good enough to ship in like by default. Actually, I think I want that either enabled, like installed by default, but maybe hide some of the more controversial or non-default things behind like a setting. But I think it's super. Yeah, on the generator, that kind of makes sense, Glenn. You're right. The generator ran, emptied out the generator, and then we'd have to actually like duplicate it from beforehand, just for the generator case, I think, to fix that particular one. Underscore is going to work for everything else though still, right? Well, yeah, print has none, so that was, but if I just do like a bare string, and then I underscore, yeah, so it works in other cases. But yeah, I think just for the generator case, because the display hook is actually walking over it, Peter disagrees. Peter doesn't like. So here's my proposal, Peter, and this is what I'm going to suggest that we do. I think we should have these capabilities built in but turned off by default, but behind a setting. So it's not, you don't have to install the plugin to get it. It would just be in a setting in the core. Like, do you want generators to be expanded and stuff like that. So yes, we can hash this out more. We've had several debates on this, and I really like this functionality. So we'll see. I mean, if you do and you're typing it in the REPL, like that's just such a weird edge case. Like that's like I get it. I understand that like you can disrupt stuff like that, but like you're not going to be in the REPL. It's only in the REPL. It is literally just if you're here and you just run it as a bare command, would that ever be a thing? So I just feel like the actual odds of it causing something bad or unintended are really low, and it makes so many more things useful. But Peter, if instead you want to just go after and find every place where we have bare generators like instructions or stuff like that, then we can do it that way too. Anyway, we'll have our debates later. Let's get on to some other plugins. So I like that plugin a lot. It's one of the ones I always have installed by default. The other one I've shown on stream, a lot of people have seen, is the instruction graph. And this actually, I think, could probably use some improvements with some of the new API stuff that happened in the sidebar and some UI things. But the instruction graph is, decompose this current instruction in all of the different forms: low level IL, medium level IL, high level IL, and it shows. It's just a really good way to like learn about this because our ILs are tree based, and this way you can see them visually in a tree, and it uses our built-in flow graph engine, which is kind of nice. But there's something new that is somewhat similar, which I really like. So the IL hierarchy. So I've showed before. Peter's come and talk on stream about how we did a lot of nice things in the. It's not what I want to hit. We did a lot of nice improvements with the API in 3.0. So for example, if let's see, what is this? This is show address. Let's just find any call. There we go. So 20. So current high level IL instruction 20. It's a high level IL assignment instruction, and the assignment, the source of that is not source operand. It's assignment dest is src. Is that why? Yeah. So the source of it is actually a call itself. So if you want to kind of like test the properties of these things, you used to be able to do like operation and like equals height. You like type the whole thing out. So we've already showed before. This is way better. You can do stuff like is instance. Is that a call? And I think local call is the one I usually use because call will actually match syscalls, or it's local call. Yeah, there it is. So local call is a good one to use. And just like, is this thing, and that will work for low level, medium level IL, high level IL call instructions. So that's super nice. But the question is, well, how am I supposed to know which one of these like kind of hierarchical classes exist? And somebody built Fabian, who's in Slack at Plonk, built this plugin. And so if we enable this plugin, and I think we do need to restart the UI, it adds a whole new sidebar panel here, and now you can select an IL instruction. So we're in pseudo C, so we need to actually be in high level IL. And look at that, we actually get like the hierarchy of the new kind of classes. And so yeah, you can see that local call, the call, but that's true for anything, arithmetic operations, and for all sorts of other stuff. So this is kind of nifty that you can get. Where's it going here? Yeah, like you can get comparisons. That's a control flow. It's an if. You can do all that stuff. And just seeing it here, again, the sidebars are really good use of this. And so this is actually what I've been thinking. I think BNIL graph, instead of being a whole new tab that shows all of them, it could actually be just like this, where I could just decompose, I'm in high level IL right now, for example. So maybe I just show just the high level IL. Like this could fit pretty easily in the sidebar, right? So I think that could be over here with a little bit of scrolling, maybe you're zooming. And it is still just like a flow graph, so you get nice standard zoom stuff. So I think that would be kind of an improvement to that plugin. But those are two of my favorites. So let's see, what else? What else do I have installed? Oh, snippets. Snippets is the other one. I feel like people who have been around for a while have seen snippets, and so I don't want to belabor it too much. Also, it's plugin that I wrote, has a bunch of little built-in like utility things. Anytime somebody is like cookbook style, like, hey, how do you do this in Binja? And it's like a 10-line thing of Python, and it doesn't make sense to build into it. We'll do it here. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Oh, and actually, yeah, BNIL graph has another feature, which I forgot to mention, which I think maybe that's what you were alluding to, which is there's the ability to do a match generator where it's like, hey, let's write something that checks all of the operations. Like it can actually match this instruction. It kind of gives you like the code framework. This is useful if you want to write like a pattern match thing on the IL. It generates like this little template for you. And we probably don't need all of these things compared, but like it's nice that we get a bunch of code we can just copy and paste. And if this actually took into account the new hierarchy stuff to be able to say like, is it a high level IL if statement, or actually what was it? Yeah, high level IL if, right? Like being able to like match there automatically, that would be a nice thing. Or maybe like there's a button in the panel or some of the UI to be able to do that. Would be kind of nifty. So snippets, not a whole lot. It does have a new feature though, which is nice. And this actually got fixed. This was broken until Plonk pointed out to me that export to plugin was broken and it works now. It generated some bad JSON, but now it does. You can actually take any of these little things you've been writing and export it to a plugin, and it kind of builds like the folder structure and all that stuff for you, which is just like a faster way to let people create plugins. So then we can have even more good plugins here in the plugin store. Well, you know, one thing I was just thinking earlier today that would be really nice is I want to be able to sort by last updated. I think we already have a bug tracking that, but it would be really nice to be able to like sort these by most frequently updated. We might, I don't know if we can do this in here or not. How have I never been to community plugins in this browser before? All right, last updated. I feel like, I mean, I could do something awful and like copy this. Do I have like a Sheets or no, what's it called? Office. What's the Ubuntu Open Office number speed? Man, you can tell I don't Linux daily drive for Office documents, can't you? What is Ubuntu spreadsheet? Let's see if somebody in chat can. It's just called spreadsheets. Okay, spreadsheets. Maybe I just don't have it installed. Numeric. Oh yeah, numeric I've used before. Probably have to install it though. All right, well, let's see if numeric does it. So this is a little janky, but if I just paste this table, this HTML table, I usually do this with like Google Sheets a lot. I'll just copy an HTML table, put it in Sheets, and then sort it that way. We can see which plugins are most recently updated. Actually, I need to check that because at one point there was actually a bug. Oh, and that was a change in the UI recently. This last updated field here was actually wrong. Primarily because it used a field in the JSON returned to you by GitHub that claimed to give you the last updated timestamp, and it clearly did not. Like it was just broken. So the little script that actually in this repo right here that generates this generate plugin info, generate index. Yeah, this one right here. Oh yeah, you can see my commit message. Fix last updated timestamp to be correct. So it was actually wrong. And so I just kind of cheat and I pull it out of a different field and convert it and throw it into the, like overwrite the JSON that they give you. Anyways, you see it like it corrected all of these last updated at timestamps. So the nice thing is, where did Binja go? There's Binja. That actually should be correct now, which is nice too. Then if we add the sort for it, that will do better. So. All right, so what other plugins do we got? Okay, here is another new plugin, and this one is also quite nice, although this one kind of has a bug which will kill headless, so you have to be careful of that. So the Calltree plugin. Eric, have we told you about this yet? he's actually in the chat now. And also, what is this version? You need to do a better version on that. But oh wait, does it have a 1.0? Oh, wait, really? That's amazing. 8 minutes ago? Do I just need to update this in the plugin manager really fast? I think I do. Hold, let me get my other laptop and show you this. Good on ya. That's fantastic. So let me run that generator script that I just showed actually. Let's see. All right. So let me run that script. And I mean, again, the whole script itself is open source. You can see what it does. It just goes through the listing of all of the different plugins. And I know, right? I'm so behind 8 minutes ago. What am I even doing? Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Let's let this thing go. And so it is a little slow because right now we need to make it multi-threaded, just because we have a lot of plugins and it's querying. So uses, where is it? Oh, not this one. This one. It's actually querying this listing.json file, and this is where we used to have people like issue pull requests, and we're like, that's silly. We just now you just tell us and we'll update it. And so these are this is one way to tell what the most recently added plugins were, because you can go through this file and this is the order that we added them. And so this gives you a hint of what kind of the newest. In fact, Dewolf is one that I want to go check out because I haven't tried the latest version of that. So we'll see what that does. Oh no, did it break? Oh, it's because I'm offline. How did it even take that long to time out? Why did that? Oh wow, hold on. Apple Music is also freaking out trying to play a bunch of tracks. All right, hold up. Please go online. I think I have my laptop set to not go on Wi-Fi at the office because I'm usually docked and wired in. All right, try again. Let that go. Yeah, but the reason that script takes a while normally is not because I'm offline, but because it it just queries every project, and then that's what builds this this like larger plugins.json. And so this is the file that actually makes a file, the repository in the plugin manager. So like it's just this giant JSON file which has all the metadata for each of the plugins, where the releases are, how to get them, and so the plugin manager uses this to get the files and download and extract all the plugins. So we kind of put as much into the logic of making that file so that we had the plugin manager itself can be kind of dumb. And if you want to make a third-party plugin manager, which I know some people do, there is a setting in Ninja. So you can actually do repository probably finds it. Yeah, unofficial third-party repository name and URL. So you can actually add your own offline. Somebody's actually asked recently, can I have two different ones and switch between the two and keep the same name? And there may or may not be some bugs with that. So I recommended just combine those two plugin.json files. You can literally there's a one-liner using JQ to just concatenate the two arrays of plugin infos, and it makes a new one. So so we don't really need the last updated because we can also just look at the listing, or we can look at the change log. So the script is running. It's 2/3 of the way through. Let's go check out Dewolf though. Actually, hold on. No. Before I forget, what was I going to do? I was going to do Calltree. Well, no, let's wait on that because I want to let it update. And you will see that it does have to go through the CDN. I love it when Vector 35 developers are asking for features in the stream chat. Are you volunteering, Josh? Is that what I hear? Multiple third-party plugin repos win. Actually, yeah, you might be the one to implement that, wouldn't you, Josh? That's why you're doing it. That's a good question, Joe. I think you can have name collisions. I don't know what happens if you do. I think it would be just fine, and that's actually part of the reason why. If you look right now in your file system, actually here you can. When I just did this find earlier, you could see it. You'll see it actually. One of the things I don't like about the current system, but it is good for this, is it prefixes the repository name. And then there's the plugins folder, and then there's the username _ repository name. So you can't really have a name collision. You'd have to have two repositories with the same username with the same plugin name. I actually think this should be changed because that is an annoying syntax to use. And I want to say, wait, is it underscores that are illegal in Python imports? I think it's either underscores or hyphens, one of the two. And I feel like this was the wrong one. All right, Calltree's updated. So let's push that. Oh no, where did my phone's gonna not ask me to sign that commit because it has do not disturb on, so I have to manually go do that real quick. Let's see, there we go. All right, let's push that commit. Okay, and then we just have to wait a little bit because the CDN I think sometimes takes a second to update. So, all right, put my phone back. It switches hyphens to underscores. Oh, interesting. So it's doable. You have to have underscores in the name, and you could use a hyphen in the import, but it would kind of get converted to that. Okay, so underscores are safe. Well, I guess I could test that because I could actually just do import with zombies BNIL graph. What was it? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So there we go. Yeah, also, if you want to get like some kind of weird injection or obnoxious thing, it probably is doable. Actually, I don't know what kind of requirements GitHub makes on project names. And also, we manually review every plugin we add, so I have to put it in that listing file, or somebody else does. But yeah, so we should do a little bit more of that. Oh, okay. So Dewolf, ooh, nice theme. Looks like they like the reflection theme as well in their screenshots. You'll see they actually add a new Dewolf decompilation window. And yeah, like one of the things I liked about Dewolf is I've talked before about how I like high-level IL better than pseudocode in a lot of times. So for example, if I compare, I think I've mapped the hotkey to a different one here. If I compare, I can go to main maybe. Give me something with yeah, actually this should do it, right? Yeah, it does, exactly. So like except, for example, right? On high-level IL, I see it's, EAX6 is the variable in this function, but it's in the file descriptor parameter of the function we're calling. And that's really nice extra information, right? To be able to see that. And there's no like syntax exactly for doing that in C, but you'll notice the way that the Dewolf folks do it is they just add comments, which I think is a little gross looking, arguably, but like it is one nice way of getting that information. So yeah, yeah, exactly. Like Joe, I don't have a whole lot of like concern over most of those stuff because I don't thoroughly code review and analyze every plugin. That's why there's this big pop-up the first time you try to install a community plugin. It's like, by the way, this is third-party code that didn't come from Vector 35. This is at your own risk, so be aware of that. But yeah, so let's actually install this. Ooh, is that gonna work? I want to see if this is a really good test. I don't know, Peter, if you're seeing this. I've never seen that syntax and requirements, that text. This would be fantastic if this just like installs it. Yeah. That'd be super, super clean. Huh. That's cool. Yeah. I think it's done. That's great. So let's go open this up again. I did see some errors. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Yeah, not quite. So either A style was missing in the requirements. Let's see. Where's requirements? Requirements.text. Yeah, I think that might be missing a requirement, so that's not a huge deal. Which Python are we using here? I mean, this literally just got added today, so I haven't had a chance to test it yet, so I'm not too surprised. Python, I'm probably using System Python. Yeah, no, I'm not actually. So actually, this is one limitation of the plugin manager right now that I would like to fix. Glenn, everything about your shell is weird though. Glenn uses Zonch. So I can't even say it right. XONSH. Zonch. XONS, right? That's the name of your shell? Yeah, a Python powered shell. So you can just write Python, but it's also a shell prompt. And I don't know. It is intriguing. Oh, that's true. Just install that way. That's true. That's probably even faster. Thanks, Josh. Good suggestion. All right, let's go. If I hit that again. Oh yeah, there we go. That was it. Not bad. Okay, that's pretty great. This is like a good example of where the plugin manager is working really well. Oh, I was going to describe one limitation of the plugin manager. If I switch interpreters, so right now I'm using the Binja that or the Python that ships with Binja. If I were to switch to System Python, which it's 3.9, so that's fine. If it was 3.10, don't do that quite yet. We need to. There's some things we need to upgrade. We're not compatible with 3.10, but 3.9 would work, but all those plugins that were previously installed wouldn't be installed. And so the easiest thing actually is to go back and literally uninstall and then reinstall the plugin. And then it'll ask you, do you want to install the dependencies again? And you could just say yes after you've switched versions of Python. So it's a little bit of a workaround. It would be nice if we could automatically just reinstall dependencies after you switch Python. And just doing the pip requirements for all of the things we already have installed should be pretty easy after we switch versions, because like if they're already installed, it won't take very long. And if they're not, you want them to be, otherwise the plugins are going to break. So, all right, cool. So Dewolf is installed. Nice. This is, it's described as a sort of research prototype decompiler where they're testing some things out. They're actually using Binary Ninja and the medium level IL in it as sort of the basis of their decompiler, which, makes sense. We've got a lot of things already sort of done and out of the way. This is cool. It's a bunch of debug information about where they're doing. So again, I don't think this is meant to, it's not meant to replace the full Binja decompiler, but you can navigate in it. That's cool. The doc widget is nice. Yeah. So let me see about going to, let's try a different, actually there's a couple of bigger binaries here, or bigger functions here. And it's async. So I do think like this is, yeah, I do think for like, it's not really meant for decent sized stuff at all. I mean, this is not even that big of a function with this switch statement in it. Do I have to manually hit decompile again? But anyways, it's super cool though. There's like this experimental decompiler if you wanted to play with decompiler stuff. That's a neat way to do it. And you'll notice this is like using the old doc widget system. And so you do get some flexibility. You can move it around to things, but it's not the new like pane and global area stuff. So at some point, like, maybe this belongs as a global area, and then you could actually like do it over here with these tabs, and you would want it there. But to their credit, like we only recently released out of the development releases that whole system, so it works fine. That was intentional. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and disable that one for now, just because I don't. Well, I guess I could probably kill just the doc widget UI, but I don't know what other. It may still be automatically doing some stuff in the background. So, all right, let's look at other plugins. Actually, if any of the folks on chat, if you guys have favorite plugins that I haven't covered yet, let me know. So there is actually, yeah, I'm gonna go back to the community plugin list and look here. I didn't show Calltree. That was the other one I was gonna do. And the update happened. So let's actually see if Calltree. Yep, nope, this still shows 1.0. So let's see, let's back up. And so, wait, last updated 6 hours. Oh yeah, that shouldn't be updated, but plugin.json should be, hold on, did I not push? Yeah, it says it was updated, get status. Up to date, community plugins. What happened? Why did that not? Oh wait, updated 9 minutes ago. Yeah, what did I change? I added Calltree, or updated Calltree 3. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I did. It updated the version there. Oh, 1.0 is the version. Okay, so it went from 0.0 to 1.0. Okay, so that is right. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, Chad. I'm a little slow. Good call. So it is better. It's 1.6 was in the other stuff. Eric, if it works, versions are, and I will say like the way we do versions is a little bit janky, but oh, look at this. Oh, you got a good icon too. Oh, that's new. I like it. All right. Calltree. That's actually, did you make that? I like it. So we got to actually open something up, but Calltree was inspired by an open issue to have, there's also a call graph plugin, so let's install that one too while we're doing this, because this is a little bit like proximity view or like the call graph view in IDA. No, it's actually Whiskey. and I haven't had some yet. But here, let me see. Can I do this? Yeah, I needed to add audio. So originally, I think I was using audio off the other device. All right, better. Thank you for the heads up. So this is Ichiru World Molten Grain, and it is my favorite whiskey. This is yeah, and so I was saying I was using my phone. This is literally just my cell phone that's been sitting here, and I use video.ninja, which is, yes, the Stream Deck is great. We should geek out over stream stuff. It's a lot of, so actually, yeah, switching views is actually, I'm doing that on the Stream Deck, and I've got a few of the things. Do I have my sound? At one point I was playing with a soundboard. Oh, it's not wired up to this view, so I need to add that. But you've had this one, Fox? This is, I love, yeah, this is what got me interested in whiskey. So I do have to drive home tonight, and I plan to not have very much, so let's get a very little bit. But to those of you that are of age and responsible drinkers, cheers. And all right, let's go back to here. So there we go. I've actually thought about, yeah, what I would use the Stream Deck for. It has, actually, bookmarks would be a pretty easy one. You can navigate Binja via the URL handler. It makes you do like an extra like confirmation every time you do it. I don't know, that's something, yeah, I'll have to think about that. So, all right, so we've got, let's see, call graph is installed now. I think I have to open the tab again. All right, so I think if I like go to main and then, yeah, so generate callers graph or call graph. Uh-oh, that plugin didn't work. It's got a bug. And to be fair, this was like a thing that Josh wrote a while ago. My previous favorite whiskey was Fireball. So yes, like this is much more sophisticated tasting. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Bookmarks. I think bookmarks in a Stream Deck would be kind of nifty. I'm gonna, like, I have some time. This is like, that's like less than a finger. It's a small one. Nice. Yeah, actually, Fox, this bottle I first had in Japan, and it was like $30 US, so it was much cheaper. Yeah, from Fireball to Ichiro, a Japanese distillery, which is pretty legit, was an improvement. But it took me a while. Like I had a lot of like tastings of whiskeys over the years. Oh, is that what? Oh, wait. Is that all it is? Yeah, this thing is not updated for 3.0. That's true. I haven't tried that plugin since 3.0. So I wondered when we would hit something that needed to be updated. I don't know that we'll fix it now on stream. I think got enough other things to go over, but yeah, because so like function list is a good example of, you know, everything was a list before, and then that generator conversion, you know, we can like cheat and we can add things like pop and push, which is what Peter kind of already did, which is why you can do things like current function or bv.function 0. Like the fact that that works is already because we're sort of cheating, right? This is a generator behind the scenes, but Peter just built a getter method. Get item that would actually specifically get you that entry. So yeah, that plugin just needs to be updated 3.0, or we could add some helper stuff. But let's do the Calltree one though, because actually I think Calltree works better. Calltree is like this tree view for incoming, outgoing calls and recursive stuff. I actually think that works better than like a call graph, you know, where you have a bunch of like call stuff. There's actually another call graph plugin too that Josh has that I could test out, but none of the call graph plugins are super robust. And Eric, since we have you here on the line, Suntory times for relaxing times. I like Suntory. It's not as good as this, but so actually Mechanical Null CI for plugins is something we've actually talked about a little bit. Yeah, in fact, there actually have been people in the past that have asked for, like, there have been some open source projects in the past where they said, hey, I've already got a license, but can you give me like a dedicated like headless license or a computer license just so I can like test my plugin? And we've done that before for people. So if you've got a public plugin that you want to set up some CI for it, that's totally doable. Yeah, so I think this is a better view for call dependencies. So if you actually go look at the call graph issue in the Binja database, a couple people kind of were talking about it, and somebody suggested, like, I think this Ghidra style, like tree view, which I think, because everything's a tree view in Ghidra, obviously, I actually do think that's better than the sort of proximity view. Proximity view is kind of nice for like lots of big things where you want to just interactively click through it, maybe. But I think this is nice. So good job, Eric. And again, this is like a very fresh plugin. I was going to ask you, do these buttons have hovers? Because I don't know what these buttons do. I assume this is depth, right? Like the call depth. And what is this, like a search? Ooh. Okay. It's filtering just things that have that function in it. That search and filter is nice. That was pretty intuitive. I assume it's the same thing up here. E, is that gonna like I wonder what E does. Oh, expand and collapse. Okay. Look at that. I figured it out. Yeah, actually, you got it. Oh, in the description of the plugin? Yeah, so let me is it here or is it in the I mean, I think, from expand and collapse. There we go. I mean, I think I figured it out pretty easily. I'm trying to think of what icons would be good for that. Maybe arrow to the right and arrow to the left or something. Or I don't know. Yeah, that's cool though. I agree, Peter. A component view, when like that sort of like organization will exist here, will be really nice. When like your general symbol list and variables and everything you've got here, when that's actually kind of like a tree view, but specifically like organized by functionality, that'll be nifty. So yeah, exactly. It's like, just the relationship of all the functions, which I would be curious to see how it performs on like a fairly large binary. And like, what about like loops? Well, I guess that's what the call depth is for, right? So you can limit the performance hit as long as it's not a massive number of things everything calls, which I'm sure there's some like worst case things that would do that, but that's cool though. So collapse and expand, collapse all, expand all. Yeah, that works for me, and you can also individually. I like it, Eric. Very nice. Okay, so cool. We've gotten several very good plugins. Let's go back to our list here of recent ones and see what else. Oh yes, don't remind me. This is one I need to. So I have a stash that will, at some point I'll get a chance to finish it. But this is a one of the things actually came up on the OA Lab stream earlier, which is the ability to just like import a file. Like there's APIs for it, but the C parser is a little picky, and there's some kind of limitations to it. But let's enable this and check it out, because I actually, when he first submitted the request, I was like, yeah, I've got some code that's like built in to do this too, and then I haven't actually finished it. So I'm glad the plugin exists, so people have another option. But if we let's see, load header. Let's see, actually, do I have to? What was that? Import. Oh, import header, not load header. So import header. No, header. Do I have to restart? Sometimes I have to restart. Sometimes I don't. I think there's an open issue that is basically like, let the plugin manager reload the action system, because it's not clear to me when you do and don't have to restart. But Yeah, import header file. Okay, so I did have to restart that time. There we go. So just give it a header file. It's basically just gonna pass it straight through bv.platform.parse types from source file. It's basically gonna do this. It's just a UI for that API. Oh, very nice. Yeah, yeah, Eric, that makes sense. I mean, until you hit any performance limits, don't prematurely optimize. So that makes sense. But yeah, adding caching would be nice. And then like updates, yeah, you can even like I assume it right now. If you're just getting updates, navigation events, and so you can yeah, it already tracks it, which makes a lot of sense. Evening, Valgrind, welcome. We're enjoying a little birthday stream celebration. Yes, the C parser. I will say we've been talking for a while about replacing it with Clang or something, which is interesting because I did just relatively recently did that as well. I think it is the right move. Like being able to get like the full power of Clang to do your type parsing makes a lot of sense. So Joe, the advantage of that load types from source file is that's specifically for like I just have a bunch of type information. Maybe they're on imports, for example. So SIGKit is only going to help you with applying types to like statically matched functions that are in that binary. But if you just want to add a bunch of imports, for example, that will be more helpful. So that's the idea behind the load header file. Like I've just got a whole bunch of types. Maybe you've got like so we are on our 3.1 sort of release sprint now. So we're working on expanding our Windows types, but maybe you've got like some weird old version of Windows that we don't have a bunch of type information for. So the user 32, for example, has slightly different function prototypes than it shouldn't, right? Like that's the whole point, is that it's pretty stable over time. They've done that. I'm not the best Windows reverser, so tell me if I'm wrong. But if you happen to have like some types that you want to use, but again, that's where you'll run into the fact that it's using our SCC type parsing, which can be a little picky. It doesn't like some things that are not standard C spec that may still pop up because other parsers will be a little more flexible. So that's the main reason why. Yeah, I mean it's good for them. Yeah, hex rates, like I said, like although the only thing that like I thought was weird is they added this, but if you look at the blog post where they talk about it, they're like, you have to go here buried like 5 menus deep and then change the setting. It's like, why would you not just make that the default? Like it's a superior parser. So is it because they don't trust it yet, or maybe the bugs are working out, or like I don't know. I feel like IDA maybe sometimes is a little too cautious for like swapping things out when they're actually better settings, and that they should instead default to like do the better thing, and then let the users, if they really want the old behavior for whatever reason, like change it, like make it a setting, but like do the right thing. I feel like that's kind of like a bit of a philosophical difference between how we do things and how they do things. Is we're much more likely to be like, no, this is better, we're changing it. If you want it the old way, that's fine. We'll give you a setting, but like we're gonna try to like keep the defaults and the out of the box experience better, as opposed to being exactly the way that it used to be. So yeah, so the import headers one, hopefully I'll get some time to so the UI I was building was doing a few other things. Like you'll notice when I tap complete this API, you can specify include directories, and there's some other options. And so it added a few more things there. Hopefully, at some point we'll figure out like the logistics of, we actually already have like some LLVM built components into Binary Ninja. Like we use their MC to assemble for non like x86 architectures and non PowerPC. I think it's MIPS, ARM, all the other architectures that you can just like you can just assemble from. So any of these architectures that are not PowerPC or x86 go through like this build that we're doing. So getting like it part of the build process and getting it included, it's not the hard part. It's just getting the type systems kind of lined up, which would be cool. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Spender. Yeah. That like they don't want to like tie it too much to particular extensions. But like I can't imagine they would have built that many in their own custom one-off parser anyways, where it still would be better as the default, but it could be. That's a good point. Wow, that's a mouthful to say. I'm gonna have to like look this one up. Let's see, what project is this? Oh, is this like the... Oh, I have not seen this. The descent into hell is easy. This isn't... What is this? All the undocumented... Are they just pulling these out of the PDBs? Are they using that new... I wonder. Let's see. Do they have like a... Yeah, an about... Yeah. Okay, so they get it from PDBs. That makes sense. Huh. That's really interesting. I haven't actually seen this before. That's pretty cool. I wonder if they have their... They mentioned a parser. I wonder if that's available at all, or if they have any other kind of like downloads of the data. I mean, I think there's already pretty... So there's better data now. I'm trying to remember where the link is, but yeah. This is an odd... Like, this is not what you expect a website to look like that's going to give you a bunch of kernel type information, right? Like, that is amazing. I still can't get over that. Are there 7 layers of hell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But only at 32-bit. There's going to be next 64. Do we have more? No, we don't. That's right, because we're going to have less. We're not going to go back as far. There's 7 layers of hell in both of them. See, then they really are going for that metaphor. That's amazing. GeoCities meets MSDN. That is, but it's like higher resolution than GeoCities. That's amazing. Wait, there's a spaceship here too. I guess that makes sense. The planet is blowing up here, whatever this is. All right. Yeah, that's cool though. I wish there was like a better way to get the data. This is wow. They're like going all in on that planet blowing up theme. Huh. That's really, really interesting. All right, I'm gonna put that one in our Slack before I forget it and lose that. Ooh, Peter, I missed that message a second ago. Okay, cool. So if y'all are interested, it's all NTDL, always has been. No, it's all good. I enjoy doing different things, especially on stream. Today was always going to be kind of like a fun stream. I was looking forward to bouncing around a little bit. So, yeah. So actually, it sounds like Peter has. So let me see here. I think I can. Peter, if you join the link, let me paste the link for you to join. Make sure I'm in the right channel. All right, so I put the info in our Slack. Not Crazy Bomb. Keep asking, Fox. One day we'll do it again. Yeah, that's true. So we could, test this. Is an underscore example going to be valid? And the problem is, well, actually, here. Did I actually copy it? I should go to the right window. There we go. Create new type. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to do a bunch of like type defs. I don't even remember. Is that the right order or is that backwards? I forget. I'm real bad. This is why I'm the developer that gets to stream y'all. Y'all know that. Can I just do short? That's not going to work, is it? I think that's... Oh, wait. Let's do it that way. Yeah, it does tend to help if you spell things right. And did I get it? Was it right before? People sometimes think I'm like joking about the like I'm the worst developer amongst a bunch of good ones. It's totally true. That's why I do all the Python stuff. All right, I'm not gonna mess with that now. But yes, this is exactly the point. Is that like if you want to just load in some Windows types, you can't just paste it in. and that's annoying. So that is actively being worked on. But let's see if let me see if I remove this. So yeah, Peter, you should be able to join. I think I can add you. Oh. Dreaming about Binja. I don't know, like I feel bad. I'm not sure you want Binja in your dream. Oh, so Peter, you should be able to, like, the room and the password were in the line next to the URL. And when you join, I think you'll show up here on my director screen. I can add you in. So the short explanation is Peter has an, oh, there he is. I see him joining. Okay, hold on. So let's see here. Add to scene 1. And now, oh, the problem is I'm going to have to, okay. Let me see. I might not be able to hear you without making some changes. So let's see. Okay, so let's try this. Pardon the interruption while I try to. So, oh, that is definitely not. Oh, we're still in that one. That's the wrong camera angle. Oh, I could just do this. Let's see. So I think I'm sharing your screen now, Peter. Oh, wait, maybe I'm not. It's Jordan's all the way down. Oh, wait, Peter disconnected. Okay. So Peter, hopefully he'll reconnect. I suppose I need to figure out how to do. Oh, wait, hold on. Scene, capture a group scene. Oh, I can, but I don't want to hear you out there. I want you to go in my headphones. Hold on, let me see. Say something again. Yeah, I still hear you on the. That's gonna get annoying if I don't route it right. So, I just need to make sure if I unplug and replug my headphones, is that gonna work? Okay, Peter, can you hear me through the? You should be able to hear me at some point through the.
I can hear you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I can hear you now on my headphones, but I know why I can hear you through my phone. That wasn't a laptop. Okay, muted the phone. All right, we're getting there. So let's see here. So I need to. I can add you to scene 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. That worked. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to remove control room. How do I? All right. I'm just gonna have to disconnect the phone. I don't need that anyways. So let's kill that one. There we go. Okay. We're getting there, fam. We're getting there. Sorry, is that Chugi? I'm old and I'm not allowed to say things like that, I think. Okay, Peter, I think we can see your screen. We see Binja. But I don't think people can hear you yet. No, so no one else will be able to hear you. Hold on. Other people will not, so I have to add your audio. Wait, can people hear you? Ooh, I hear feedback for you, which oh, it's because I have this up. All right, say something again, Peter. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, so nobody else hears you, but I think I can add you pretty easily. Hold on. Add audio, output capture, desktop audio. All right, say something, Peter. You know what? Nope. I don't think switching to Hangouts is necessarily going to fix this because Why is that? Oh, desktop.sui. Say something again.
Testing one,
Oh,
two,
there it
three.
is. Now you're bright. Okay, people can hear you now. Okay, so
Okay, I can hear myself with like a delay.
yeah, you'll want to like kill your. Hey, Marcus. Hey, everybody should go check out Marcus's. Wait, should I not be advertising Marcus's latest plugin for the competitors? Oh, that's cool. It just like the
Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. I hear you twice still, but I think that's just me. Stream, let me know if you can hear him once or twice when Peter says something.
Okay, I can't hear you now that I turned off my strings.
Okay, hold on. I think I can fix this.
I'm just gonna disconnect here.
I know how to fix this. Okay, I think I can fix his echo, but he also disconnected. Yeah, this is like Video Ninja is really nice. It just I have to like I don't have all of my scenes all set up for it. I mean, the stream deck doesn't help if I have the configs wrong. I need to get all the inputs figured out. Hit more buttons. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to. I mean, I will use it now because I'm gonna switch back to this. See, look, I can turn off the face cam. I can turn off stream elements. I can use all those fancy things. Excuse me. All right. So whenever Peter rejoins. Okay, so that's a good point. I could probably just explain what Peter's been working on. Peter has been working on the new log APIs and like log window, logging system, like subsystem. So right now, like the Binja logging system is kind of, I'll just say basic. I'm gonna leave it at that, right? Like if I put my Python console here and I have log info, which is like the default, just like log message. And then we have log debug, which is going to do nothing if I haven't launched Binja, enabled it, or used the API to turn it on. I have warn, and I have log error. And the nice thing about log error and warn is if the log is not up, it'll actually get an icon. You can click on it. Oh, turn off echo. Well, I should have just done that. Like, why didn't I turn off the echo button? Oh. I think Peter couldn't hear me because of mute the speaker. If I do that, he can hear me. But if I audio source, I know why he couldn't hear me before. So I need to put this so he can hear me. And then Peter will now hear my voice. Yes. And then I need to mute this tab. Yeah, mute site. There we go. Okay. It's working, Peter. It's working. At least I think it will. This is my hypothesis. I got it working. So this is the current log APIs, info, debug, warn, you get that kind of stuff. And there's a few more things, right? So if I Python reference and then I come over to the log method, like there's a couple of things. You can choose to log to a file, and like it's got some stuff that 7 years ago was reasonable, but it could really use a lot more flexibility, right? Like you would really want to be able to like do better like searching in the logs. You want to be able to filter log messages with different levels here. Maybe you want to have plugins. Like if you've missed an alert, and I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff you might want to be able to do. Oh, Peter's back. Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I hear no echo.
And I can hear you.
Let me add you to the scene. See, I thought I had it. Okay. And now I think
It only takes 20 minutes, and
it's
20 short minutes we can do a video conference.
Hey, we're live, and everyone can hear you, and I can hear you, and we can see your screen.
All right. Well,
I already gave a little bit of a teaser of like you're working on logging, and I described some of the limitations of our current kind of system. So I teed that much up.
Yeah. So one of the issues we've run into is while we're getting like more and more complicated, like workflows and stuff like that, they're getting like harder to debug. And when you have like a workflow and like working with another workflow, and like imagine the situation's just going to get far more complicated. And to kind of alleviate some of these, like our logging system needed to improve a lot. So currently as it is, we only have log levels, and you can, and those are just like integer log levels. So what I wanted to do is make something that's much more kind of like the Python logging API. And there's also some other logging APIs that function very similar, where you can create a logger object and then you log to that object. And so I implemented that essentially, and then I realized that wasn't even quite enough, because I also needed to separate out the logs between the binary view, the different tabs. So
Oh yeah, because right now it's all like just one giant place, or one giant
right,
like
there's just
stream.
one singular monolithic log, right? So so there's there's this new filter that you can see, and you can just like, oh, let me search for everything once it's loaded. Let me search for everything that, you know, has Peter in it. And I just did this earlier today. I did a lot of this earlier today, but you can log debug statements are in this like kind of more muted gray. And this is log info. And then when we do like log error, that yeah, that shows up in
You
red,
get the
and
wording,
log
yeah.
warn
But do we have colors? Because that's what the
shows
people
up
are
in
wanting.
colors. What?
I'm half joking. I think that's one that Marcus actually asked about a while ago. It was like he wants to do like custom colors in the log.
Yeah.
So while you're there, something to think about.
Maybe we could do something like that. But one thing you'll notice, there's now a tooltip on these things that kind of gives you more information. So you can see that this is log level debug. You can see that it says like session 0. That session is actually like this
That tab.
mnemonic.
Yeah.
This yeah, it's essentially like I could just crash. This is an ASAN build, so it's super slow, and like I just started it. Yeah, so it's just logging a bunch, and it's slow because it's ASAN. So now what you have is these different this says log. It's probably going to be like scope or something like that. And so we can view all the tabs, the current tabs, or the current tab and global. That's current tab and global is probably going to be how it comes out of the box, because that's what it's more similar to what you would expect.
It would be like the most backwards compatible. Well, not really backwards compatible. It's just like what people would expect to happen. That makes sense.
Yeah, because the other thing is, we may miss some log messages that should go into like the scope of a particular tab, but they don't. So we might have to like we don't want people to lose important log messages, right? And then have to like come over to a new tab to see like, oh, what's important about, you know, whatever this current thing is. So yeah, so now right now it's set to current tab and global, but I can set it to current tab. And what you can see if you hover on these is that there's a logger name associated with each of these.
Now, is that an arbitrary like text field?
Yeah, and that's the name of the logger.
Oh, so like the
So
source can be
now
anything.
you
My
have
plugin could be its own source. The
right,
yeah,
right. So
workflow or
now you're like, yeah, your workflow could be like analysis dot linear sweep dot phase one dot whatever,
yeah,
you know, or you know, whatever your workflow is, or your minor variation of a workflow. So now you can kind of your log messages have to be a little bit less verbose. A lot of times we're like in our log messages, we're like type library, you know,
yeah.
whatever,
We're kind of
like,
including
and
that
that kind of
context
sets up the
in the
context.
message itself. Yeah,
Yeah.
as
So
opposed to
like we have
metadata.
like type library deserialize, right? We have like, um, you know, something that's just about the settings. And so like these may be, all right, these may be in a different scope, so you won't see them. But yeah, we can see all the type libraries that are loaded. It's like that information would have been completely lost, like if you were using the old system.
Well, and
You want it
debug is too noisy to run most of the time. Like I just don't bother
right,
because it's like
right. And
so much a
so
pain to search
now,
through.
yeah, we can leave more log debug messages in, and they can be tied to a specific like uh, you know a specific logger, and then you can see, oh, I just want, you know, the log debug messages for the type library, right?
Now,
And
is
you
there
get
like a
those.
performance concern where we need to like, not
There shouldn't be any additional performance issues.
like we're not filling up all of them in the UI, like even if they're not shown, like is it on demand, like just when they're loaded,
Yeah,
or
so we have a maximum of 10,000 lines already.
is that total or per?
So
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
that's total. It's not a per logger thing. I might consider making that a per logger thing, but then it gets a little weird when you start composing them. Like you're composing two different loggers together and putting them into the same stream, and it's like, oh, this one logger ran out of lines, and so like those messages got dropped, but this other logger
Yeah.
didn't run out of
Yeah. You get
lines. So
inconsistent
like,
behavior.
yeah, like if we ever add timestamps in, which we don't have right now, then it
Oh, that
would
would also be
really get
nice.
confusing,
Yeah.
because it would be like the yeah. So yeah, stuff I gotta think about, but
Are, are,
it's
are there other kind of like
super
features
nice that
like
you
in
can
your
have.
design plan that you're thinking of adding, like either export to file or ANSI colors is what Glenn want. He doesn't
I
want.
mean, we already write to a file.
Well, you can call the
Um,
API, right? But like, there's not a UI element that just says please save this current. I guess you can select all, copy and
yeah, I
paste or
mean,
something, but
like I think yeah, you could do a select all and copy paste, but I feel like we maybe need to have like a ring buffer, um,
mm-hmm.
a file ring buffer that we just like we write to, and it's because you know who 99% of the time you don't want that logging
No,
information,
I'm
and we
I'm
just
I'm
drop
thinking
the
like after
log
the
after.
fact, right? I'm thinking like a one-off, like right click, save current log to file kind of thing, right? Where it just takes
Right.
whatever's in the current scope
Yeah,
and
and I mean we could certainly do that. The What I would recommend is probably like log just restart with logging to file, like it if you want the full logs, but
yeah.
I could see an argument for it.
And I
But
noticed,
yeah,
is that a search
that's it.
in the upper left
So
too? So like adding a search
oh
bar
yeah,
is also
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, you know, I can search for value, you know, I
Yeah.
can search for whatever. I can, you know, and I can open up you know, different oh, I is it current tab? I'm bro
And
I'm
it's
gonna create yeah, oh yeah, look,
yeah.
ASAN die. So,
It's doing
you
his
know,
doing his thing
this is why it's not
on dev yet.
on dev.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I'm in a debugger too. So,
No worries. Yeah, that's cool.
but
Any other questions from the stream about that? I'm curious if folks, especially like plugin authors, that seems like it would be a nice thing to. Yeah, what as you said, like workflows are even more, and I can even think of there's definitely been times where I debated whether to log something, and for now I just throw it on to log debug because I know that most people don't run with it, but that it's super noisy. And
yeah,
I think the hardest part about this is actually going back to all of our existing log messages in the core and figuring out like how to either rescope them or
hmm
uh, you know.
yeah. That there's. I did a search. I probably changed over about 200 of them, and then there's like 700 more
Yeah, I believe
log,
it. Yeah.
and then it's not just like, do that, but like there's a lot of like, oh, this is a static API, a static function, and now you've got to like pass in some context for a logger so that you can log it to the right like logger. So
Mm,
that's a little annoying.
yeah.
But it's not too bad. And the benefit you get from being able to like know which one corresponds to which is going to be very beneficial, especially with all these like workflows
Yeah.
that we're going to be adding.
Yeah.
It's like you really want to know like, okay, oh, there another thing I didn't mention is there's a thread ID as well. So like, you've got two different threads and one's coming in and like you're going to be able to log
Oh,
that
if there's multiple
thread and
analysis
then
threads.
see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
this other thread is doing and
Hold on one
like
second, real quick. I'm just gonna switch to the desktop view, but I want to make sure because you're
sure
kind of hung. Say something.
testing
All
one
right,
two
you're still.
three.
Yeah, you're still there. You should be good. Just pulling back up mine since yours was kind of frozen. Yeah, so that makes sense. Like if you like want to see some consistency between multiple analysis threads, you don't have to guess. Oh no, did I lose you? I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Peter. Did I make you go away? It says you're still there. Oh, you were muted for a second. Did I mute you? I can switch back, but I don't think it's gonna help. You there? No. Okay. Well, somehow I lost Peter. F's in the chat. Sorry, Peter. All right. So yeah, that's just another little sneak peek of something I thought else that I think is coming along nicely. So Peter better not be done because I'm not going to work on that feature. That's although I like that search especially, and actually I was curious. I wanted to go look because I think there's been a couple of other I want to see. I think there's been a couple of other log related stuff, and I wonder if those are also gonna. But like searching is really nice. Yeah. So logging system improvements. This is the specific bug. If you have comments on that or ideas, this is the one. And actually, filter and only CLF for a particular binary view. Look at that. Galen suggested that, and that indeed is on the horizon. So that one's coming. But if there's other ones that you want from here, add that to 2508, and just add a comment to 2508 to the number of the other action system log. Oh no, it's a separate thing. I do want that. Log not updating. Yeah, I think that we'd have to go through it and look at that. Some of those log stuff, but oh yeah, there it is. Actually, this is already 1564 is already tracking that other one as well too. So cool. And I think is there another one over here? Yeah, log display filter. It's 1381. So that all of those will be a part of that. You can see those are already all there. But if you have other ideas, I know color was one at one point had been asked about. Although I think it may have been asked also about the Python console too, or the Python scripting console. So that's something to consider. But we'll see where that goes. So, all right. Well, I'll need to double check and see if there's any other like plugins. If anybody in chat has a favorite plugin that I haven't talked about that they want me to take a look at, it's Easy Nops. This one looks good. I just don't think I have anything useful to test it on right now, but that's kind of a nifty one. Curious what other plugins often get used. Dewolf import, and this is one that Kyle's been working on, migrating into the core and using the new Rust APIs. Debugger, of course, is a plugin. That's a whole stream in and of itself. Actually, we are getting, yeah, Lighthouse. Thank you. Yeah, and Marcus is even on stream. Absolutely. So there's actually 2 code coverage plugins. So there's BNCov, which is just a binary specific one from Mark. But then there's also Lighthouse, and I think they have some slight differences in terms of what they parse. But Lighthouse has a ton of like custom UI stuff. So Marcus built like this really fully, and of course it's an animated image that you only see the first frame of in Binja. So we literally are advertising for IDA in there. I should see if Marcus could like even make a single frame of Binja and then immediately go to IDA for a while, like, and you wouldn't notice it on the website, but at least in our plugin manager that way it would. So if you're still, oh, is it actually broken on 3.0? Hey, let's find out. I don't know why I'm being a masochist, but let's see here. It didn't immediately error. I mean, so the initial stuff is fine, but yeah, I'd have to go grab. I don't think there are. Are there any other sample files in the Ninja repositories, community, plugins, Lighthouse? I think there is a sample. Yeah, test case. Here we go. So if I open Boombox and then let's try load coverage file. Let's just do a single file. drcov. I mean, looks pretty good to me. At least out of the box, it looks like it's working, Marcus. There may be some of the stuff that needs work, but oh, I don't. Well, hold on. Did the highlights not show up? Maybe. Yeah. At least I don't know if I have to do anything. I don't use Lighthouse all that often. It's because I don't do real work anymore. I just build the tools. Yeah, I mean, it on the face of it, the UI works. It's a very good one for taking screenshots too, because it's so visual. So many plugins are really hard to understand what it's doing, and this is entirely a visual plugin, right? Like the whole point is to specifically show you where you've had code coverage from like a trace, like when you're doing fuzzing or any kind of like dynamic execution. Oh, high-level IL, like in high-level IL view maybe. But cool. Do you have to? Yeah, I don't know if it. I don't know how to get the trace information to show up in the flow graph, but I don't actually use, like I said, I use it high-level mapping. I am curious too. The mappings on 3.0 got a lot better, Marcus, too. So like the fact that you can get like current high-level, what is this? 6.llils, like the plural. Wait, oops, did I not? Hold on, current high-level 6. Uh-oh. Oh no, it's Hex Integers. Oh, Glenn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we can't ship it. That's it. That's it, I'm out. So, list that. List has no attribute constant. Okay. So that is another Hex Integers bug we gotta fix. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll find more, but oh, by the way, fun fact, Control D is the close without saving hotkey in Binja, and it's Command D on linear view. Let's see here. There. Lighthouse, not batch. Oh, whatever. I'll probably just ask. Sure. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, so disassembly works. Yeah, it definitely has it. And that's where the high level IL. That's fair. Okay, so current high level IL 0.lils. Yeah, so what I was going to show is that this is, I thought this actually is a list. It is actually list, so it's not even generator. So it's not related to the generator stuff. It's related to the list stuff. But anyway, something to look at. But that's cool. Yeah, I don't even know how much the highlighting yeah, is that just actually a Binja bug that it doesn't translate highlighting based on that address to high level IL or not? I actually don't know. Wait, really? Low level IL equals? Glenn's already troubleshot it. Nice. Huh. Oh, wait a minute. I remember like a quality change getting a little buggy, but I thought it may also be a specific. Wait, why am I getting the SSA form? Is there a non-SSA? I forget how they get it off there. Hold on. Yeah, non-SSA form. I actually bet it's because it's a combination. I think there was a bug on the SSA on the non-SSA form equality that I remember like looking at or fixing or having looking at some point. But I bet because this gets the SSA form by default. Which by the way, why does that one give SSA form? I don't remember why it does that, because does the medium level will do that? Anyway, I'm getting totally nerve sniped here. I'm gonna go home and hang out with my family and celebrate my birthday. But thank you, everybody that hung out on stream. And I use Linux in a VM for streaming because it's like a clean VM, and like VMs are way better in Linux, for sure. I've used Linux as my daily driver, but I mostly use Mac OS. So current MLIL 0. So cool. I'm curious. That one also gives us a save form. All right, that's, yeah, there's tons more. Like we literally showed off like 5 or 6 plugins, and there's like 90 in here. So there's a ton of other plugins. This one's actually pretty neat, the division deoptimizer. So this is, you can improve the, like detect using Z3, like solving like, oh, this is actually, this crazy IML shift thing is actually division stuff. Thanks, Ricardo, appreciate it. And excuse me, sneezer. Anyways, a whole bunch of other plugins. Check them out, and thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll be back in, I think, 2 weeks, barring any other kind of craziness. We'll see everybody then. So cheers, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye.